Okay. YouTube says we are live, so I am inclined to believe that we are live. Hello to everybody. Welcome to another Saturday night here at Primetime Racing League, PRL. The Saturday night shootout. Their Super Speedway series continues here tonight. This being, of course, night number 7 of the season. 2 more races on tap here, Daytona and Talladega. Ready to get it into it here. 40 laps at Daytona. Just about to get underway here in just a few short minutes. We've got a decent field here tonight. And after last week, seeing some awesome racing, a great story and a first-time winner on the season last week, and then some crazy moments in race 2. So we'll see what happens here tonight. Of course, Bobby Farrell and Graham McDonald were the 2 drivers that got it done last week. Bobby at Daytona and Graham McDonald at Talladega / Primetime Superspeedway. I kind of use Primetime Superspeedway and Talladega interchangeably. Since Primetime Superspeedway is just kind of a modified Talladega to anyone who is not familiar. And wouldn't you believe it, that those 2 guys are going to be starting on the front row for this first race. Lotto qualifying has put Graham McDonald on pole with Bobby Farrell second. You can't really make that up. Mike Mangialardi will start in 3rd. And then it lottoed me at 4th, so the entire outside row will move up a spot. So in reality, that would pretty much put Ken Huntsberry in 4th place, but just for the sake of simplicity, with me starting in 4th, theoretically. Tim Anderson will start 5th, Ken Huntsberry 6th. Brian Lovell, Randy Waugh, Kelly Causey, Pat McCursky are the top 10. Also starting here tonight will be Keith Bynum, Gary Heiser, Doug Hewlick, Stephen Brandstetter, and Billy Ellisar. That is the full lineup for tonight, looking like 15 drivers. A couple more than we had last couple weeks here, which is nice to see. And flying solo tonight myself, but I think we are still going to have some fun, as we always do. It's Super Speedway racing. It's like, how are you going to go wrong? You know what I mean? And again, we saw great stuff with Bobby Farrell getting the win in race 1 last week. Graham McDonald winning a slightly more chaotic race at Primetime Superspeedway in race number 2. We saw Doug Hewlick officially get enough flight hours to qualify for his pilot's license. Probably enough flight time that he qualified for his commercial pilot's license. At that rate, had the wheelie of the century and then flew over the catch fence later on. That was pretty wild stuff. For tonight, though, damage remains disabled. So as long as you can keep it in the lead draft, that is all that matters. Getting a wreck or 2, that's fine. Obviously, it'll just cost you track position. If it calls a caution, though, that'll put you right back into the thick of things, which I think is going to make this race and the second one of the night both very, very exciting. As the final few seconds in happy hour click down here, we'll be getting to the action here very shortly. In the meantime, we'll just remind anyone who is tuning in here tonight that coverage of Fast as their season winds down. That continues at the Colorado Short Track tomorrow. And then on Tuesday night, it is Homestead for the Hobo Racing League as their Cup Series is starting to wind down. Just a small handful of races left to go there. We've been following that full season pretty much since it began. Again, only missed 2 races of their long, pretty much full year season. And of course, we're bringing full coverage of Primetime here. Obviously, just the couple of races that were missed due to, of course, just stuff that I was doing. But here we are, and ready to get into it here. Where Saturday coverage will continue onward for the next few weeks. I do also know that coming up, we will be having Talladega Nights Back to the Future series. We'll be bringing the second half of that season to you guys as well. That will be coming up at the conclusion of the hobo season on Tuesday nights. So Tuesdays will remain a hotspot for some super speedway racing. Well, not super speedway racing, just racing in general on the channel.
Drivers, please start your engines.
As the field gets onto the track, I got on there in a hurry. And we'll get you guys the live pictures here. And we are ready to get after it. Here at Primetime and the Saturday Night Shootout. Again, Graham McDonald, Bobby Farrell on the front row here, 24-7. Because that's all those two do is win 24-7. To play into that a little bit. There's Mike Mangialardi there in that number 29 Blackhawk Down machine. And then you got Ken Huntsberry in the 66. Good to see Ken out here at New York Yankees machine. Tim Anderson, Randy Waugh will be row number 3. Brian Lovell, Pat McCarsky, Kelly Causey, and Gary Heiser will be the full top 10 there. 15 drivers in total by my count. At least I believe that should be the case. So, 40 laps, no damage, 3x on the fuel. So these guys will be pitting around 12, 13, 14 laps per stint. So that will put these guys at a guaranteed 2-stopper. This car will make the turn down. It's night number 7. That puts these guys at races number 13 and 14 on the season here tonight. And with the 24 and the 7 here on the front row, last week's winners. Anything can happen as the green flag flies in Daytona Beach, Florida for the Primetime SuperSpeedway Shootout. Momentum favor the inside lane there. That will favor Graham McDonald and Mike Mangialardi. They will jump up ahead of Bobby Farrell on that more stable outside line. We've mentioned it before, but to anyone who could be watching this for the first time, that outside lane tends to be preferred if you want the car to handle a little smoother. It's a little more grippy. The car doesn't want to push up as much. It's just a little easier to maintain. So that's where you tend to see the momentum. However, for the inside lane, the shortest way around. So kind of a catch-22 there as far as which lane you want to be in at what point. Right now, the inside is favored as those guys 24 and 29 jump to the outside. That has allowed Tim Anderson and Brian Lovell, 2 of the Big Stone Gap guys, as they get a little squirrely there through the tri-oval. Brian giving a big shove there to Anderson. But both those guys on the same team. And right now they are helping each other out really well. Frame rate is certainly not helping me out, which is always a lot of fun, but whatever, it is what it is. Kind of 14 drivers on track, so Someone in TeamSpeak did not take the grid. I think maybe Keith Bynum, it looks like. Oh, no, there's Keith. I'll have to figure out who that is, but regardless, though, lanes have now drawn pretty even. We've got another great aggressive pusher there on that inside lane there. That is that 00 of Kelly Causey. Buckshot. That GIF machine down there on the bottom. Outside lane holding steady, though. Graham McDonald, Mike Mangialardi, obviously a couple guys that know their way around SuperSpeedway racing. Bobby Farrell's been in this game a long time. Of course, all these guys that run with each other week in and week out, whether it's here at PRL or elsewhere. These guys have been racing with each other for a long time. They know what's up. They know how they like to go about things. And they know where the runs tend to go. Just gotta know when they're gonna happen. That's all you can really try and do in this kind of racing. I was quite lucky to have finished 9th out of the massive field over at RTG on Thursday night in their Cali Challenge. And every time I say it, not bad for a broadcaster. I do this way more than I race. And as much fun as this is, it is cool being able to get back into the driver's seat every now and then. Don't do it too often, though. Because, boy, it is draining. But it is a great challenge. I love the challenge that it presents. Strategy, racing, trying to save tires if you're at a track that requires such a thing. Figuring out setups if you're in an open setup league. Trying to figure out how to drive the setup if it's fixed set. Which, of course, this league in particular here, PRL, is fixed set. At least here in the Saturday night shootout. Once again, the two lanes remain dead, even, and square. A couple times that 33 kind of peeked out a little bit. Now the 24 gets a little bit of a peek out there, but is not clear. And that 33 is going to get the advantage with the shortest way around. We'll see who's going to lead this lap here. I believe it will be Graham. Maybe. Ooh, that's going to be tight. It was Tim Anderson. Awesome stuff here so far, but already halfway through the fuel run. These laps click off in a hurry. As a couple guys bail out on the bottom lane toward the back. That was Doug Hewlick that jumps to the outside lane. And now Gary Heiser is going to try for lane number 3. McCursky's going to go with him. They're a little separated at the moment, but if they could try to find each other there, which they will, and if Doug Hewlick could try to close in, or Ken Huntsberry, it looks like he might try for that. Although Pat McCarsky just got into the wall there, got a little too high. Of course, this in Daytona, it is the narrower of the two super speedways that we are running tonight. But Randy Waugh saw that and went, you know what, let's go for it. And here we go on lap 8, 3 wide. And now the last place you want to be is the middle. Because there's just nowhere to go. 21 will draw next to the 24. The 33 is going to get a bit of an advantage here. And now that middle lane is going backwards. Oh, tight there, doors. Almost coming together. 24 and 97. 26, Billy Hillis are probably in the most ideal position, if I'm being real. Just like, you know what, I'm just going to ride it out back here. As that inside lane starts to pull ahead. But Kelly Causey says, nah, let's try this middle lane and see what we can do. You guys are going to have to get themselves sorted out, though, with those pit stops looming in the very, very near future. Ooh, wasn't sure if Brandstetter was about to push up the track there, or if Bobby Farrell, rather, was coming down. Steven Brandstetter, though, running well in that 5:10. There he is on the bottom. And a Halloween-themed machine. Of course, gotta send a shout out to the NNSCRA and they're running Talladega tonight. I'm sure a lot of special schemes for that one. I always love seeing the awesome schemes that go into this game in every league that you come across, you're gonna see something cool. You're gonna see something that honestly you could see on just about any real life car. You love that 44 Brian Lovell, that Valvoline car up there. Of course, Bobby Farrell always running the Petty Motorsports tributes. Running that on the number 7. As now we're starting to sort things out here a little bit as we're coming to 30 laps to go, and pit stop's probably about 3 laps away, 4 laps away. And yep, just like that, the fight to try and get to the front on the outside lanes is now turned into a jockey for the inside lane. Mike Mangialardi toward the very back of that line there, but he is on the bottom. Kelly Causey thought about finding a gap, couldn't find it, and now that was almost trouble. Pat Mikarsky with a bump from the 24 of McDonald, but they save it. That will cause some separation, but above all, no caution, no incident. That's what you want to see. And now these guys are going to start to form up here, start to recoil. Angelardi's leaving a gap there for Kelly Causey. He will get down, and now everybody on the bottom lane. So now the question becomes, when do you do it? Do you short pit? You go until the tank is dry, or somewhere in the middle? We'll find out here shortly. If you do want to short pit, this will probably be the lap to do it. As in all that chaos, Keith Bynum has found his way to 3rd. And Branstetter 4th. Guys that really dropped back as a result of that 3 wide were Mike Mangialardi. Yeah, that's actually about it. Graham McDonald runs 6, so he didn't drop back too much. Any takers this lap? Looks like that is a no. Doug Hewlick, last car currently in this line. Everyone just hugging the bottom, waiting for that pit window to open up. It's also driving me nuts as to who's in TeamSpeak up there that is not in the race. That is definitely my OCD kicking in a little bit. Causey peaks high. I wonder if this means that we may have some takers this time, and that probably means he's staying out. Branstetter peaking high. There's Randy Waugh going up. And here we go. 33, 44. Bynum is in. They're going to get close. Big luck up there for the 63, but manages to hold on to it. Bobby Farrell, Graham McDonald, Doug Hewlick, Mike Mangialardi, and Pat Karski, all the drivers to pit that lap. So looking fairly half and half here as far as pitting a lap short versus going an extra lap here. There's actually going to be 6 drivers that have stayed out here, so that's 8 that are on pit road at the moment. Back up here. Everyone just now starting to come out. We're going to see how everyone gets down pit road this time. Instead of being fairly conservative there, Randy Waugh, a little hot. As long as he got away with that, he should be just fine. Up front here for the guys that just pitted, Bobby Farrell leading the big group there. 2 guys that got way ahead of them are Keith Bynum and Brian Lovell. So they pulled well away. However, this field is going to form right up and close in on them in a hurry. And it looks like they all should be able to maintain the draft as well, which is always nice to see. Pat Mikarsky at the back of that train. Picking up here now for the guys that are just now coming off of pit lane. And a little bit of separation between the 2 halves. You got Randy Waugh, Kelly Causey, and Gary Heiser, all relatively close together. But then 3 cars that are going to drop back here a little bit. That would be 5, 10, 66, and 26. And I don't think they're going to be able to hold on to this draft, unfortunately. So that is going to probably drop them out of contention for the time being. 63 and 44 breeze on by Heiser, and now they're going to catch right up to this pack, the 00 and 21, and they're going to go ahead and make the move. So let's go put them side by side, and a full head of steam for Bobby Farrell and company. They will close in here any second. I'm already sniffing the draft. Pat McCarskey slipping back just a little bit there, maybe trying to give a little bit of rope, as it is called, to these three, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to work out unless he's going to end up losing the draft. Bobby Farrell, big run coming. What does he do with it? Peaks high, going to make it 3 wide. Oh, game on as Gary Heiser clips the apron. This could actually be what that third pack needs. Third pack, yeah, now they're the second pack. They might be able to close if they remain like this. Oh, if they don't crash! Oh, I thought the 44 was about to turn the 63 with how they were running there. That was dodgy. No pun intended. Bobby Farrell out in front and holding the outside. Far outside, that is. Bringing in Graham McDonald and Doug Hulick with him. And indeed, that pack of 3 has closed. They've got the draft now. As long as Billy Elliser can hold on, we should remain with all 14 drivers in the lead draft. You rarely ever see that at a super speedway. And you love to see it, because that just gives more guys the opportunity. Obviously, they still got one more pit stop to go and probably about 10 laps. But man, it's like we never even pitted. Everyone 3 by 3 by 3. And about 3 rows deep and 3 wide here. Randy pushing up the track there just a smidge. Made me a little nervous there, but they settled it down. Now the momentum's going to come to the high side because you only got 3 cars on the bottom. That middle lane with more cars, but again, you're just in such a circle hole when you're in that middle lane. So that's going to draw all 3 lanes pretty much even here. Oh my goodness, what a save by Bobby. Checks up the entire outside, but my goodness, that could have been pretty much everyone involved in a crash right there. Bobby into the wall. That's also not going to help the outside. And yep, that's going to force everyone to check up. And that now puts Keith Bynum into a position that he could try and challenge for the lead here with a push from the 44 level. Brian, the only level in this race here tonight. But he's still got his teammate Tim Anderson behind him. And now everybody's abandoning Bobby Farrell. We're down to 2 by 2. And guys that we thought were not going to be able to keep up are now in this pack, including Ken Huntsberry. There's Billy Elliser at the very rear. And at the very back of the outside lane at the moment is Steven Brandstetter. All 3 of those guys thought they had lost the draft. They are right back in this thing, closing in on the halfway point of race 1 of the evening. Clean and green so far, a couple of near misses, but so far so good. As the 44 peeked up the track, thought he was going to make it 3 wide, ends up bumper hooking off the 63. Saves it, and again, no damage in this race, so he will be just fine as long as he can maintain the draft, which it looks like Billy Elliser is going to give him the shove. And he's got Doug Hulick right in front of him, so I don't think those guys are going to have any issue. Again, another near miss, or probably the biggest near miss so far, but everyone keeps it together. Randy Waugh to the point. You know, Corey's going to love to see it. With a push from Buckshot. Kelly Causey. And Gary Heiser, man, he's really, really good. At number 3. The modernized look for the Dale Earnhardt throwback. I love it. It's like a modern take on the Good Wrench scheme. And that thing is badass. I'll tell you what. Outside starting to deform. 63, 33, 5'10", and 23. The only guys up there, 5'10", is the lone car with a 3 not at the end of it. Now the 66 jumps up there and is going to try and make some noise here. Got Huntsberry shout out to him. He is running really, really well. If you're closer back on this lead pack, he's just been running steady here since the outset. And now trying to make something happen. He's going to draw even with the 3. Get to the door of the 00. And the backstretch is going to be where that outside lane is going to be the most fruitful as far as making up track position. That dogleg on the front stretch kind of evens things out for the 2 lanes. Then of course the corners, the shorter way around, tends to be where you want to be, but on this backstretch you get the shove and it's going to propel you forward. Although Ken and Kelly looks like they were drawn pretty even thus far. Ryan Lovell and Bobby Farrell got into a little bit of an awkward moment there. Wasn't sure if Bobby was about to drop below the yellow line. Ooh, 66 get to the quarter panel of the 21. Mangialardi really dropping back further along there. Not too sure what's going on there with the 29. And now side by side here for the race lead. About this 4 cars versus pretty much the entire field. And they are making it work. Making it work really well. 66 clear to the lead. As everyone hits the apron. Coming to 16 laps to go. Pit stops for the final time in this race coming up here in probably about 3 or 4. And now the shove to the bottom. Going to be the preferred place to be. As that outside lane a little bit disorganized. And credit to all these guys here on the top. Making it work very nicely. The 23 has now dropped down. And I'm sure a part of that being in preparation for those stops. Now 66-21. Even again. Now 15 laps to go. You're still going to want to go about another 2 laps at least in order to ensure that you're making it end. I'm sure that's why these guys are still pushing on that outside lane, but they are going to have to find their way down at some point. Very, very soon. That outside lane comprised of 2 guys that pitted on lap 13 and 2 guys that pitted on lap 14. As, yep, now they're trying to choreograph and make this work here. Keith lets off, and Graham lets him in. Now Keith maybe try and do the same there for Ken. We're actually on some early pitters here. And it's going to be 3 of them, the 63, 21, and 3. That seems a little early to me. But if they feel comfortable enough in making it to the end, this could benefit them. Because you're going to take a full 2 cans. But since you're filling it up pretty much to the brim, they aren't going to need to sit there quite as long. As long as all 3 of them can stick together, they could be in a pretty decent position here. But the thing is, though, they all 3 have to stick together. As they are coming off the pit lane now. Let's see who pits this time. 44 ducking down. Everybody coming in except Brandstetter. Oh, spinning 7! Gets into the 33 and then actually rights him. Wow, that was hairy right there. These 3 relatively separated at the moment. 44 had to back up in his stall a little bit there. We're going to keep it here on pit road. See who emerges. Well, Kelly Causey going to emerge all by his lonesome. 24, 7, 23. Everyone coming out relatively close together. Now 21 and 3 and 63 are going to breeze on by all of them. Except the 00. Or did the 00 take enough fuel? Because he's mega gone. Obviously, these three are going to close in on him no problem, but boy, might come down to those 4. Can't believe that. Because, yeah, everyone else is so separated. Steven Brandstetter coming down all by himself. As there goes the 00 by. There goes second, third, and fourth. Yeah, Brandstetter staying out all by himself. That's not going to help him, unfortunately. But, hey, bold strategy call. Can't hurt. Oh, Doug, hold on. These guys are trying to get formed up to see if they could try and close in. As all three of them breezed by Kelly. No surprise there. Kelly having no draft. We're coming around to 11 laps to go. Is that enough time for this field to form up and try and make something happen? It looks like they will have a maximum of 6 cars if Ken Huntsberry can hold on to this draft. But he's kind of in the danger zone of holding on or not. 33 says, enough, screw this, I'm just going to go for it. I question that maneuver. If they're going to have any chance of closing. But they are 4 cars up here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see once they get formed up what the verdict is. There's going to be 4v, again, at least 5, if not 6. You probably want the 5. But you got to have some darn good pushers in this pack as well. Doug giving the almightiest of shoves to the 24, who we know can lead a pack pretty well. And I'm definitely seeing a noticeable speed difference. Gap at the stripe there was about 2 seconds even. So they only need to close about a second. And then they will have the draft. So this is far from over. And yeah, there is definitely a speed difference. 199 down the back straightaway here for Graham McDonald. Kelly Causey, 195 entering the corner. 200 entering the corner there for the 24. Ken Huntsberry trying the inside lane to try and close in a little bit there. Unfortunately, I think that may have actually killed his momentum. I don't think he's going to be able to hold on. These guys are more worried about closing in on the top 4, so going to be a rough one there for Ken, but still, great run there for that 66, all things considered. And then you got these 3 all together, and Steven Brandstetter all by his lonesome. Clean and green in this race thus far, but still far from over. They closed about 7/10 that last lap, and now they're in the draft. We're going to see some mighty lap times, some mighty speed. Graham McDonald, 2:02 on the mile per hour. Does he go high or low is the question. With 8 laps to go, he goes low. And brings that whole line with him. Randy peeking low, trying to block it. And he will successfully do so and hold on to the lead for now. Just like that. Graham McDonald win pretty much 2 in a row. He won at Primetime last week, so this would make it 2 in a row. However, Doug Hewlett's going to say, no, 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 I'm going to the outside. Gary Heiser is going to give him a push. And Heiser being pushed by the 63 behind him. So this will be 9 cars with a shot at this win with 8 laps to go. 7 laps to go, rather, excuse me. The clock winding down here, 66, has unfortunately officially lost the draft. I think he may have actually opened up. There he is. Thought he pulled down there or something. Buick out in the lead. Kaiser sticks with him for now. It goes a little higher. That allows the middle lane to open. And a couple guys thought about it. And now that's going to separate that outside lane, but they're 6v3. And that inside lane is not where you want to be from a momentum standpoint, as we mentioned before. But still, this outside just looks a little bit disjointed. And you see a little bit more movement there, so that's what's allowing the 21 and 24 to remain where they're at. Bobby Farrell kind of in no man's land, where the momentum just absolutely dies. So now he's going to say, well, we're coming down to the end of the race, so I'm going to try something. And now the outside lane prevails officially. How long are they going to stay in formation? You got two teammates nose to tail there, 33 and 44, so you know that they probably are going to look to make a move here soon. We got 5 laps to go in race number 1. "21 to the inside, all by his lonesome. Might as well try it. Ooh, Gary. Trying the high side there? Not quite sure. He remains committed to the 23 at the moment. Boy, wouldn't this be quite the win if Doug Hewlett gets this thing after the race that he had at Primetime last week. Come straight back and lead a bunch of laps here late. If he can convert it to a win, that would be pretty cool. The PPG Toyota leading this thing, but again, a lot of movement. He kind of goes low, goes high. I think he's trying to find kind of where the best place to be is. Honestly, best place that he could be in right now is right where he's running. Pretty much right in between those dashed lines. We'll take 3 laps to go this time by. Everyone remains as they are, although Randy keeps trying. It's like, yeah, you might as well. Oh, peak from the 33, ups better of it. Gary again peaking high. Whether it's scaring the 23 or he's just also a little bit unsteady. Not really sure. Yeah, there he goes again. Just that little peak. And now Keith thinking about going the opposite. And now the 33 and 44. Not to anyone's surprise at all. Will link up together and try the bottom. Keith going to join them. And the 23 responds. Throws the block. Door slam featuring Gary and Keith. 2 laps to go at the stripe. And now the race is on. It's really going to be on here if the caution comes out as the 21 and 24 go for a spin. No caution. No one was coming at the time that they were on the track. And now they're off the track. So we race on. But rough break there for both of the big dogs here at PRL. Tim Anderson up to second, going to try to peak high at the white flag. 63 saying, none of that, good sir. Gary Heiser and Bobby Farrell both coming in. They couldn't make it. I was thinking they pitted early, and they pitted too early. Catching Steven Brandstetter here. We're down to only 4. .33 trying to sniff a draft. Big block there. Don't get bumper hooked. 510 goes as high as he can. Side by side for second. And redemption for Doug Hewlick will come at Daytona. 23 Machine is going to win it in the first race of the night. Flawless defensive job there. Out of Doug. I believe Brian Lovell will get second with Keith Bynum third. That's awesome there. Jason. Despite the little bit of craziness. Unfortunately, they're on 2 laps to go. The result in finishes that neither the 21 nor 24 deserved. And we bring it to the start-finish line here. On the front stretch, and Doug Hewlick continues his victory lap. Well earned. He wins it. Brian Lovell, Keith Bynum, the top 3. Tim Anderson, Mike Mangialardi will end up 4th and 5th. Mangialardi was in that other pack there that ended up further behind. And will still emerge with the top 5 thanks to us late pit stops and the trouble for the 24 and 21. So 4 results there. Of course, you had the top 5 there. Pat McCarskey 6, Billy Elliser, Ken Huntsberry, Randy Waugh, Bobby Farrell, Graham McDonald. Kelly Causey appears to have had a connection problem as what took him out of contention. Gary Heiser brought it down, or had something happen to him as well. He ended up retiring. Steven Brandstetter 1 lap down. Not too sure what happened there with the 0-0 and the 3, but regardless, a very, very good and caution-free race despite the incident there that caused the 24 and 21 to go around. Let's see if I can have a very quick glance at what happened to them. Go ahead and have a look at it here. Oh, never mind. No, we won't. Looked like a bad bump from Bobby Farrell to the 24 is what caused that, unfortunately. And regardless, though, we'll go ahead and, of course, get a quick word with our top 3 finishers, as we always do. We will start with Keith.
User was moved to your channel.
And that is a 3rd place finisher for race number 1, Keith Bynum. Keith, do you copy?
Hey, now?
Hey, now. Great finish there for you, my man. You kept it in the lead draft all race long. Everyone pretty much did, which was pretty impressive, except for a small group of guys there at the end. But I guess I'll just ask you, main thing being, just seemed like flawless execution, and you kept yourself in it with a good chance. How are you feeling with how that went down?
Well, I just, kept my car up in the front, stayed with it, stayed out of the wrecks, and tried to do a little pacing there on them last couple of laps, but I wasn't going to wreck nobody trying to force the issue. But yeah, just keep it clean and keep 2 or 3 guys that you run good with and try to stay with them to keep yourself up towards the front. Like I say, you get towards the back, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I get you there. Knowing that, of course, you race with these guys week in and week out, and you've been doing so for a long time, I'm sure you kind of have, like, even if you're not really teammates with anybody, you kind of have an idea of, all right, who do I want with me at any given time? Does that ever really like come into your mind, or is it just anyone's my friend who's around me at that point?
No, I have got 2 or 3 guys that if I'm around them, that I Denny, I run with Denny when I'm around Denny. Brian, I run with Brian and his brother and cousins and them, the Lovels. I follow along with them, and then the Wrecking Ball crowd. Yeah, what you said, I pretty much work with everybody, but I still got a few of them on private chat buttons to where I can. Um, like some of them if I'm in front of them, they'll follow me to a victory. Vice versa, I would do the same to them, and it ain't very many of them, but that's the ones I work with mainly in the race.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, a lot of helping guys out and helping them get the best results possible. Not something that you see in too many places in super speedway race, but it definitely happens a lot here, which is cool to see. Uh, Nicely done, man.
I'm going to let you move on to the next person, but I want to say first, thank the good Lord Jesus Christ for everything He does for me in my life and for everybody else. If it wasn't for Him, we would actually couldn't race this race like we do. And I want to say hey to my mother because she's listening out there. Hey, mother, or she's watching. And I hope we have as good a second race as we had the first race because this first race was, to me, was action packed. That was so much fun. Three wide most of the time.
Hey, I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty more of it. And hey, got your closing thoughts there, which hey, we always let guys do. So appreciate you, my man. Best of luck in race number two. Hopefully, we'll get to talk to you again.
Thanks for hosting, my brother.
Gladly, man. Gladly.
User was moved out of your channel.
He's mining with P3, Brian Lovell.
User was moved to your
With
channel.
P2, Brian Lovell. Do you copy?
Yeah, 10-4, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Runner up for you there. Got side by side with Keith there, and pretty close between you guys, just behind Doug. But I was telling him the same thing. I'll tell you is everybody kept it pretty darn clean as far as keeping up in the lead draft after pit stops. Only a small group of guys ended up falling off after the second one. Execution just seemed like it was really good out there. You did have that one moment though that almost cost you. You got in the wall. What was that like?
Oh, that was wild. It's just the whole race, caution free, running three wide lap after lap. It's close, and I mean, the end of it was pretty wild. You know, I love races like that where we can run three wide and then not have any issues.
Yeah, it was action packed, like you said, but caution free. You always love to see it, despite a couple near misses until the very end. But once it came down to just a final handful of cars left in that lead draft on the final lap, you and your man Tim Anderson were both up there as well. I'm sure that there was hopefully going to be some, or you two were hoping for some choreography between each other to try to get yourselves up there for a race win.
Oh yeah, Doug was leading that second pack on that last pit stop, and we run the front pack down. We run like 202 or something. Then I seen a
Mm-hmm.
car shoot down from that front pack right in front of us, and we all had to check up, and it kind of throwed things off. It might have been next to the last pit stop. I couldn't remember. All I remember was we were in the second pack and we were moving, and I was tagging on to the back of it somehow, about 2 or 3 car lengths back. But man, we were scooting down through there.
Absolutely, Holland. I wish I actually had a look at whatever the fastest lap was. That would have been very impressive to look at. But hey, regardless, man, we got race number two here. I'm sure expectations probably about the same. Some hard racing coming up here, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad that they changed the Daytona track from when they were running, because you can run three wide on the Daytona track. You know, the new one, yeah, or the one they put in place. Now this Talladega, the Primetime, we run it enough to know, what not to do, but it still happens. I'm looking forward to this race.
Hey, as am I, man. Best of luck in it, and hopefully we get to talk to you again. But regardless of if you do or not, anytime we get you in the booth here, you know what to do, man. Close the thoughts, shout outs, anything you want.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to my teammates over at Wolfpack Racing, and my teammates here at Big Stone Gap Racing, and all you guys out here at Race, man. Thank you for hanging in there for the community, and I wish all of you the best of luck. I thank you guys in the booth. Y'all do an awesome job, and there's so much effort put into this over the years. I want to see it keep going. I don't want to see it end.
I think it's going to continue on for a long time if we keep this up, which I love to see it. Great job, my man, on a great runner-up finish there. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you again after race number 2.
Yeah, man. Oh, y'all's renders look good too as well. I was wanting to mention that. Y'all do a great job, man. Appreciate y'all.
No, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
User was moved out of your channel.
It was Brian. We'll get our race winner in here next. Redemption
User was moved to
for
your channel.
Doug Hewlick in the 23. Doug, do you copy? Doug Hewlick, it's Andrew Miller. Do you copy?
Go ahead, Andrew Miller.
Hey, there you are. Just a great win, man. Some redemption after getting your commercial pilot's license last week. But I had to bring it up, man. That was too much fun. But fantastic defensive job for you as well, man. Just knowing kind of how to throw hard yet clean blocks and knowing where to put yourself. I feel like you probably had to have been doing way more mirror driving than out front throughout that final run.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I didn't know I was getting interviewed, and I didn't know this was actually broadcast. So go figure that one. I walked away. I was like, yeah, I gotta get something to eat. But yeah, I was once I got past Graham and Randy, I think it was Randy. I was like, okay, who's gonna stay with me? And the 3 stayed with me for a while, and I was like, okay, that's good. And then I kept seeing the 33 bopping down the bottom, and then Keith was bopping down the bottom, and I was like, this is gonna be blocking. But they said that they weren't really, Tim said, well, I wasn't going to wreck you. I'm like, well, that's good.
I would hope not.
Yeah, he said he was just trying to scare me. I'm like, well, that worked because my heart rate was up.
Hey, anytime you get up toward the lead in one of these things, the heart rate's going to jump up because the unpredictability of any super speedway race, no matter the field size, is going to be high. Because next thing you know, you throw one bad block and you're either getting turned around or you end up in the sucker hole. So I'm sure a lot of that had to have been going through the mind as well.
Oh, absolutely. I know one time I think I was on the outside and the 3 was behind me, and I went up a little high, and I was like, oh no, just shove it back down there. And he let me back in. I was like, that's a good thing. But yeah, definitely, you get it out there, and you're just looking in the mirror, going like, okay, little right, little left, little right, little left.
Yeah. I guess last question then that I have for you.
No, I did.
Oh my gosh, why did I just? Oh yeah. There does seem to be a good amount of give and take. That does seem to be a case a lot with these guys. And while yeah, you guys are going to race each other hard, at the end of the day, the number one priority is not wrecking each other. That is definitely the impression that I'm getting. But how's it seem to be when you're actually down there on the racetrack?
Well, this is probably one of the better groups of guys I've raced with in years, and I trust them, because that's really what this is all about. If you're behind somebody or in front of somebody, you got to trust them to be able to do what they're supposed to do. So there's a feeling of, okay, I got someone behind me. I know they're not going to run over me. I know they're going to, not do something stupid and cause cautions. And these guys, this 12, 14 guys tonight, I mean, that was some fabulous racing the whole way through. So, hats off to everybody who was behind me, but I finished first.
And that's what matters the most. So
Absolutely.
very nicely done, my man. And great to have you in the booth and get to talk to you. So very well done. Before we let you get to it here for race number 2, anytime we get someone in the booth, we let them give any closing thoughts, shout outs, anything that comes to your mind. So on that note, you have the floor.
Awesome. Thank my wife for allowing me to do what I do and have fun. My kids out there in the world, Bailey up in Fort Drum, New York with her husband, my son in North Dakota in the Air Force, Oh, my friends, family out there. It's been a good weekend. I won $100 playing poker last night. I almost hit the 50-50 at the pit game today. I had the last three numbers. I looked up. I was like, oh my God, I won $38,000. It was 058. Unfortunately, it was 963,058, and I had like 583,058. So I was
Oh,
like, ah. But then I went and raced tonight. So good night. Appreciate you out here broadcasting it and, telling the story.
gladly, man. Hey, it's always a pleasure. With any luck, man, hopefully we'll get to talk to you again at the conclusion of race number 2.
That would be special. Look forward to it, my friend. Have a good night.
Hey, same to you, my man. Go get him.
User was moved out of your channel.
Like you, like from the wheel stand man to victory lane here in race number 1. These guys are running out a few more minutes of practice. Get the slight little nuances down of the different track. Primetime Superspeedway again a little wider. There's those subtle little differences in the grip in each lane. Although the middle to high lane is still going to be the higher momentum lane as far as grip and just stability. The bottom lane, still the shortest way around, so you're going to gain time there, but still has a tendency to be a little squirrely and try to push you up the track a bit. So, sure that'll play into it here as well. I definitely think we'll be seeing 3 wide again. 38 laps for this race. A couple guys doesn't look like Gary Heiser or Kelly Causey are returning. They may have just tuned in for the first race. Of course, it does get a little late here on the East Coast with these 2 races. It is, of course, just about 10 p.m. here on the East Coast. But still, a very high caliber group of guys here that I think we're going to see some awesome stuff from. So, for the time being, just kind of being the flying solo here, I'm going to go on mute here until they go to happy hour, and then we'll get down to business as soon as we are looking to get close to race time. So I'm going to take a little breather, recollect, and let the voice rest a little bit, and we'll be back with everybody here in just a few minutes. back. And we are just about to kick it to race. And would you believe it? With the random qualifying complete, Doug Hewlick is on pole. Can he make it 2 in a row? We will find out. Steven Brandstetter will be to his outside. Graham McDonald, Bobby Farrell, row number 2. How about that? Row 1 becomes row 2 in this race. Keith Bynum, Tim Anderson, Mike Mangialardi, Brian Lovell, Pat McCarskey, Ken Hunsberry, Randy Waugh, Billy Elliser. Rounding out the field, Billy Elliser is starting dead last in both races tonight. Here we got 12 drivers for this one. And the field is taking shape. Pit window will be down to more so about 12 to 13 this particular time, given the slightly longer track length, ever so slightly, as we're still waiting on the field to get going here.
Drivers, start your engines!
Here we are. '23 and 5:10 will get these guys rolling for the pace lap. And 12 cars for this race. But I'm anticipating some more of the same of what we saw in race number 1. Of course, the trend so far throughout most of the season has been race 1, not quite as crazy as race 2. So we'll see if that plays into things. We're here at the modified Talladega that is Primetime SuperSpeedway. And Doug Hewlick go back to back. In the streams that we have done here on the channel, we have not had anybody that I can recall off the top of my head sweep the night. I would, of course, have to double check the TarnationTV broadcast, see if that was indeed the case where someone was able to sweep or not. What I do know is if Doug Hewlick can manage to pull it off here tonight, that would be pretty darn special. Like I always say, super speedway racing, it may require more luck than the average racetrack, but you still got to know how to do it. And we're going to find out who will get it done here tonight. Doug Hewlick going to lead them to the green here for the second race of the evening. It's 38 laps at Primetime SuperSpeedway. All 12 guys here bunching right up as the green flag flies. Here we go for the second time tonight. Doug Hewlick will lead the first lap here. Migrates these guys to the outside lane. Keith Bynum says, you know what, we'll try the bottom. And that bottom lane forms up almost immediately. As Keith, Tim Anderson, and Brian Lovell go down there. You heard Keith say that he works with those Big Stone Gap guys whenever he can. And they're going to work with him as well. And they are making that bottom lane work at the moment. Ken Huntsberry, Bobby Farrell go down there with him. Randy Wall going to do the same. Meanwhile, Graham McDonald trying to shove that number 23 to try and keep it out in front. Preferred lane going to go to the inside here through the corner. We'll see where they end up here. Ooh, that was close. Inside lane so far actually looking to prevail. Has some great pushers down there on the bottom. 63, 33, 34, or 44 rather, and 66. Oh, Ken now gonna try his chances on the outside lane. Gonna get the shove from the 23. And now there's only 3 cars down there with a gap. So this could start to pay dividends here for the outside. Let's see what they can do. They're already drawing even here with a 44. And I think if they remain as they are right now, this back straightaway is going to look very, very promising for the outside. Unless they do that. Doug with a bit of a moment, whether that was voluntary or a bumper hook. That could have gone very wrong. Ooh. Tim Anderson jumps back down. Don't know what that was. He briefly abandoned his teammate in the 44. That was interesting. But Doug saves it, piles back in line. Albeit he's now back in the currently 10th position. Pat Makarsky with him in the 97 back there. Outside lane. Once again, disformed. 24 now trying to push the 66. Graham McDonald's been doing a lot of pushing so far in these first few laps. After he got the major push to get himself back in winning contention in the first race of the evening. And now he drops down. Peaks high. Farrell, with all this commotion going on, is now up to 4th. He's looking to win races in back-to-back weeks after winning at Daytona just 1 week ago. Makarsky and Ellis are playing the safe game, running at the back of the field at the moment. Right now, that 63 leading this line as they all hug that yellow line as tightly as they can. And so far, it is working beautifully. 63, 33, 44, 7, 24. Early in the race, halfway through the fuel run, just run out some laps. It looks like it's pretty much the mentality for most of these guys. Doug Hewlett takes a peek there to try to make something happen, but no help. He'll hope to find a gap, or will slot to the back of the line, which, again, in a field of this size, doesn't really detriment you too much. It'd be nice, though, if we're able to see what happened in that first race, where pretty much everyone was able to stay in the lead draft. Ooh, Bobby Farrell, a little squirrely there, gets the apron. And Bynum goes up to the middle. See if he keeps it up there or if he cuts it back down. Looks like he's going to cut down, but Bobby Farrell followed the line, and that allowed the 24 to get to his inside. And the 33 said, you're going way too high there, buddy. Let's go. And Tim Anderson will take the lead here. 7. High side, 3 wide. Brand Center goes with them. Keith Bynum, sucker hole. Oh, 4 wide almost. 23, he almost wasn't clear on the 97 there. That could have been interesting. But now the 63 is going to get some help. They're going to be 3 wide, and the bottom lane is going to say, see you later. As they are all formed up beautifully. 33, 44, 24, 21, and now 29. Mike Mangel already up here into the top 5. Brian peaking high there. And those two teammates, they're working together well, but at the same time, they've left each other in situations where they were going, wait, where are you going? And now they find each other again. Outside lane, starting to get a couple more cars going there. Bynum, Hewlick, and McCarsky. Billy Elliser still just lurking back there and watching whatever unfolds in front of him. 63 drawn even with the 29. His side, gaining a little bit of energy. Whether or not they're going to gain enough remains to be seen. But we're coming to lap 10. And with the 3x pit frequency, getting to the bottom lane is probably already on these guys' mind. At least for those that aren't down there yet. Of course, majority of the field is already down there. Yeah, Bynum dropping back now. Yeah, not a whole lot of energy up there with only 3 cars, and even then they're not really pushing. Not getting too aggressive. Again, I'm sure that just trying to feel it out is the way to go. Well, now they're going to fly to the inside lane. We've taken lap 11. So, I'd be surprised if we see anyone pit this lap, but I would imagine next lap could be very, very likely for most of these guys, if not everybody. I do feel like some guys may try to push it to 13 based on previous trends. Let's find out what it's going to be. Here very shortly, everybody now down to the bottom. Yep, unanimous call to stay out there. So if you pit with 12 here, that'll be 12, 24. Actually, yeah, these guys might have to make a third stop in this race. Unless they go 13 and then 26. Yeah, that 3-stopper might not be the case, but we'll find out. We'll see if anyone it's this time. I could also fully be wrong about the exact fuel window. Oh, yep, here we go. Lap 12, and we've got, once again, about the same number of takers. A couple guys locking up. Some contact, and Brian Lovell put into the wall and spun around. Has to get it back going, but that will cost him the draft. I think he may have doored the 7. At least they both got into each other. And that now, unfortunately, is going to put Brian Lovell on the clock of just hoping for a caution. 5 guys stayed out this time. And their speeds are kind of low, so we'll see where they're going to end up merging out. First, let's make sure we get her down to pit road speed safely. Smaller pack here, less condensed, so they can come down pretty aggressively there. And Brandstetter still sitting on pit road, not too sure what's going on there. Kulik pulls out by himself and well behind. So you're going to have, it looks like, a group of 4. With Randy Waugh, Bobby Farrell, Tim Anderson, Keith Bynum all together. And that's it. We'll see where everyone emerges here. Pat McCarsky having some trouble finding his box. Unfortunately, he's just now getting service. So that will cost McCarsky. And out comes Mangialardi, McDonald. There's Huntsberry and Elliser, who are a little ways behind. Randy Waugh has had to pit for speeding. And let's see, full head of steam here for the 33, 63. There's the 7. Although they're also still separated. I feel like maybe the 21 coming down pit road there may have had something to do with that. 24 is going to stick with the 29 and not take the run. 33 is going to take a peek, but not enough momentum there for him. It looks like we're down to 5. Yeah, these guys aren't quite generating enough speed back here since they're still building up their momentum. So it looks like we are down to a pack of 5, so not quite as clean and sticking together as the first pit stop in the first race. But Mike Mangialardi to the point. How about that? The guy that I don't think we've talked to yet with the top 3 finish. Hopefully that will change here in race number 2 of the evening. Coming to lap 16 of 38. Those that pitted a lap later will be in much better shape. And that would include the 29 and 24. 3 guys behind them, though, pitted on lap 12. So they're going to have to try to either push it an extra lap or save it in the final stint. Bobby Farrell lifted off a little bit there. I wonder if that's what he's trying to do, is save fuel now. Andy Waugh by himself after that speed penalty. Steven Braincenter and Pat McCarsky have found each other and are now drafting. They'll try to catch Brian Lovell, who's running all by himself. And Doug Hewlick, also by himself, is actually running a little bit slower. I wonder if he's trying to intentionally let the 44 catch him so that they can draft together, because the sooner you can start drafting together, the better. And actually, at the rate that they're going, I wonder if these two could maybe close, make it a 4-car draft, which always far more beneficial. This is the lead draft of 5, and then you go back to Ken Huntsberry and Billy Elliser, 6th and 7th. Drafting together. No top 5 in it with a chance at the moment. Coming to lap 18, 22 laps to go. Here in the second race of the night. Here in the SuperSpeedway Series, the Saturday Night Shootout, the Primetime Racing League. Again, to anyone who is watching at the moment, tune on in tomorrow. We got Fast at Colorado as they find out who will officially be battling for the championship at Phoenix next Sunday. And then we've got Hobo at Homestead on Tuesday night. And then we'll be back here at Primetime next Saturday. Same place, as always. $20 laps to go now, officially. And these guys just trying to log laps and run the best laps that they can. Because as much as you always try to think like, all right, yeah, we're gonna try and keep everyone as competitive as we can. Subtly, all 5 of these guys are very grateful for the position that they're in. Only 5 of them. So they know that they're going to get a great finish if things stay as they are and we don't get a yellow. But that kind of allows for one of the most ideal scenarios for a caution to not come out, is when they're this spread out. And so that allows everyone to kind of breathe a sigh of relief. Maybe just try and run out these laps as they're running. Get through that second set of pit stops. And then you'll be able to shape up, all right, what do I have, who's around me, and what is going on to try and make some moves. As the field is going to catch Randy Waugh here. Going to get a bit of a boost of speed. And will unfortunately put him a lap down. The hard way, that is. Randy did not get to the high side. Angelari decided to go high. No one else did. Graham McDonald to the point. Just like that, as they split the 21 to put him a lap down. McDonald looking to go 2 in a row at the primetime races. Got Tim Anderson behind him, though. Keith Bynum, a guy that we know will work with that 33. And the 7 and the 29, a couple of Fords. Got 2 Chevys, a Dodge, and 2 Fords up here. And the 21 has been able to latch on to the pack. So make it a 6-car draft. 5 of them on the lead lap. And possibly in contention for the lead, as these 4 have now all found each other and are going to start making some better headway. Maybe they can, even though they're half a track behind, things go their way, maybe they could close in on these 2. But that's a long way to go. We'll find out after the second set of pit stops, which should be coming, now that I'm looking at it, probably about 3 laps-ish from now. Again, 24 and 29. Pitted a lap earlier. 63, 33, and 7. Or excuse me. I apologize. The 33, 63, and 7 pitted on lap 12. The 24 and the 29 pitted on lap 13. So that gives a big advantage to both of them when compared to those other 3 that are currently separating them from each other. If all these guys pit on different laps, oh boy. Who knows who's going to emerge where at that point. Coming to lap 24. So this could prove to be the money lap as far as who's going to pit, but I got to think you've at least got to get to lap 25 to be safe. At least potentially safe. And even then, that is not a guarantee. And all these guys just running together, trying to run out the laps. All 4 of these guys trying to make the best lap times that they can. Ryan Lovell pushing Doug Hewlick. This is 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And then way up the road there is 6th and 7th. And you watch 12th a lap down. Hold on to these guys at the moment. All of them stay out that lap. They get into the realm of, all right, this should be doable for the true stopper. Lap 25 of 38. Will anybody bite? Here we go, off turn 4. That 7's getting awfully low. I think he's going to pit. And, yep, the 3 that pitted earlier, as well as Randy Waugh, all come in together. Now, the fact that Randy has joined them could give them a massive advantage Because now these two are all by their lonesome. And while, yeah, they're still able to draft with each other, that ain't going to be nothing compared to what 4 cars are going to be able to do together. There's a group pitting there from the second pack. They all get down cleanly. As those guys emerge. Picking on the 24 and 29 as they bring it on in. They're going to have to be pretty aggressive here, and indeed they are, but get it down to speed beautifully. 63 ahead of the 21, and then ahead of the 7, and they have left Tim Anderson in the dust. I don't think Tim even has the draft at the 7. And the 7, I think, could be too far back from these two to even catch them. Oh boy, this could end up just... This could get interesting. Let's see where Graham and Mike come out. Graham emerges now. And Gilardi well behind him. Guess you're going to get zoomed past by pretty much everyone. Actually, Bobby, nope, he's still holding on. But they were long breezed by the 24. We're down to a 2-horse race. With a lap car in there. Yeah, a little more spread out this time. Brian Lovell coming off pit road there. We'll see where everyone officially emerges here soon. Tim Anderson getting up to speed again. He may have sped. Boy, what a different look that this race has. They're going to end up catching Pat McCarskey here soon. So Bobby Farrell trying to run down the 63, but with a lap car in between them. What the heck do you do if you're Bobby? It will take 10 laps to go this time by. Either way, it would be pretty cool to see either of these guys win. Keith Bynum, of course, getting the 3rd place finish at the first race of the night at Daytona. So he'd be looking to get the double podium. Bobby Farrell looking to be in great shape here for another podium finish of his own. Graham McDonald all by himself. Although the 29 will run him down as he's got a little bit of draft and help from the 44. So that will be for a podium position. And that will put Ken Huntsberry and Billy Ellis are 5th and 6th. And I do believe Tim Anderson just got passed by both 23 and 510. So that will be 7th, 8th, 9th. Pat McCarskey 10th and getting lapped. And Brian Lovell scored 12th. So, now 9 laps to go. Another factor that will come into this, if the 97 is indeed able to hold on to this draft, which it looks like he will. Lap cars are going to, I believe, be the sole factor in who wins this. Keith Bynum leading it at the moment. It's being pushed by the 21. Will the 21 stay with him? Will he peak high and thus allow Bobby Farrell to push him, which will get Bobby into a great position? Or will Pat McCarskey do that? Or are they going to try to stay out of it? It's an awkward position for Randy Waugh to be in here, because it's like, If you stay where you're at, you're jeopardizing Bobby Farrell. If you get out of the way, you're jeopardizing Keith Bynum. Darned if you do, darned if you don't. So I think right now he is just content with running where he's at. And running the top 10 now that he's gotten by that 97. That is for position. I don't think they're going to race for that too hard, but hey, positions are positions. Points are points. As Keith ducks low now, going to bring this line to the bottom lane and then wash it up off of the tri-oval. 7 laps to go. And this is the main pack right now. It's only 2 cars on the lead lap, but a few of them will be a factor. You got a little pack of 3 here. Though I don't think they're going to have enough time to run down 5th and 6th. Who are currently all by themselves. 29-24 have found each other. So they see if they end up racing up there for the podium position. Six laps to go here at Primetime Superspeedway. Yet another clean and green race up to this point. Always love to see it. Very, very impressive. Given the tight neck quarters that these guys race at. Of course, them being separated out right now definitely helps, but still, bumper to bumper like this, all it takes is one slip up, one bad bump, one bumper grab. Anything can happen. When does Bobby Farrell make the move? If he makes the move. Could be content with where he's running. We got 5 laps to go on the evening. Lap cars are Randy Watt and Pat McCarskey. In it with a chance of determining who wins this race. Keith Bynum, though, he's one of the league admins here. I feel like that would be a pretty popular win among all of those guys. If he manages to pull it off. Run 2 flawless races here tonight. He just needs 4 more flawless laps. And hope that the 21 is his best friend. They will not catch lap traffic any further. So this is it. This is what it comes down to. And Gilardi and McDonald continue to just push each other. And now coming around to 3 to go. Oh, throttle blip there for Bobby. That is something to bear in mind. We'll see what fuel the situation there could be. Because I'm pretty sure both those guys pitted early. They were the earlier group to stop, which kind of put them in that predicament the second time by. Have to pit a lap earlier. But will they have enough? Is that why Bobby's remaining conservative? He's just trying to make it. We saw it bite him, and I wanted to say someone else. I can't remember who it was in the first race that had to come back down pit road after they ended up pitting too early and were unable to make it. It may have been Heiser. With a lap and a half to go, Matt McCarskey peaks high there. Maybe saying, want to go for it, Bobby? Want to go for it? I'll go with you. That is, of course, assuming that the fuel situation for the 63 will get him to the end, despite the fact that he has been leading this entire stint. And at the white flag here at Talladega, 7 peaks high. Not enough of a run to do anything with it. Now he goes high again. 97 will go with him. Oh, the 21. Don't know if that's a block or I'm trying to go with him. And now the shove is going to come to the 7. The 63 is going to have to make a decision. Block or get pushed by the 21. He decides to stay with the push. Oh, this has photo finish potential here. Because the run's going to come to the 7 off of turn number 4. Find him with the shorter way around here through the tri-oval. It will be side by side for the win, but give it to Keith. By half a car length. Awesome drag race. How about that, Keith? Bind him to victory lane. Good deal for one of the top admins over here. And a pair of green flag races tonight. Very, very impressive stuff for all these guys. And on the other note there, Mike Gilardi beats Graham McDonald to the stripe there after running behind him for a while. Gilardi will emerge with a third place finish, and Keith Bynum, that engine has gone silent. He is out of gas. He had not a single extra drop in it. Used up every bit of it coming to the line. Too good. But Keith Bynum with the W, just barely making it on gas. Just out of curiosity, let's see how Mangialardi got third. This is on the last lap. Graham's running way high. Mangialardi goes for it. Based on the line Graham's running, that almost looks like Graham said, yeah, you can have it. Give you some TV time. So we will talk to Mangialardi. As well as, of course, Bobby Farrell and Keith Bynum. Keith with the win, Bobby second, Mangialardi third, Graham McDonald fourth, Ken Huntsberry with a great 5th place, and Billy Elliser 6th. Nicely done for both those guys. Tim Anderson, Doug Hulick, Steven Brandstetter, Randy Waugh, Pat McCarskey, Brian Lovell, the full finishing results for race number 2. Going to get a quick word with our top 3 finishers, starting with Mangialardi, the driver.
User was moved to your
of
channel.
the number 29, Mike Mangialardi. Do you copy, my friend?
I do. How you doing this evening?
Pretty good, man. Hey, you were running with Graham there for that final run. Graham went high, and you said, "I will happily take that." But all in all,
Yeah,
though, unfortunately, just don't know if it was something on pit road there, but it looks like I just kind of got you on the back foot.
yeah, it was just a timing issue. A car was coming out of his pit stall when I was trying to get into mine, so it slowed me down a bit. So it happens.
That's what it was. Gotcha. But
Yeah,
all in all, though,
nothing major, but it happens.
yeah, just enough to throw you off there. Did Graham let you pass there? Because it looked like he was running awfully high there.
I think he was having a gas issue. I think. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I took
yeah.
advantage of going low.
Yeah, I getcha. Hey, Keith did not have a single extra drop. He ran out of fuel down the backstretch on the cooldown lap, so probably wasn't the best scenario for everyone. But all in all, though, man, a pair of caution-free races, but you were able to emerge with the third place finish here tonight, at least in race number 2. How are you feeling on that one?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. It was a fun race. Both the races are actually fun tonight. Uh, Stayed up front, or got up front actually. I dropped to the back on the first one and worked my way back up. But did that for fuel mileage on the first one.
Yeah, the ×3 there definitely makes it really close. But hey, great job though, man, and very nicely done on that finish. Since we have you up here in the booth, whatever you'd like to close out for any shout outs or any just thoughts in general, you may have the floor, my friend.
Okay, well, shout out to the admins and Graham, TRL. They do a great job running this place. And thanks to you, Andrew, for doing our broadcasting. Do a good job.
Hey, happily.
And racing with a great bunch of guys here. So need to get you in the car and you can do a live broadcast while driving.
Oh, however that would go down, that could be a little sketchy. But nah, man, it's always great whenever I do get to hop on the track. But getting to watch you guys, just as fun. So it's a pleasure. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you again next week. But for right now, though, man, soak in that great result and just keep building up on it, man. Great job.
All right, you take care. Thank you.
You too, my man.
User was moved out of your channel.
That was Mike Mangialardi, who finishes third after some potential fuel issues there for Graham. But still, great finish for both guys, honestly. All things considered with how spread out things got there. Bobby Farrell,
User was moved to your channel.
number 7 of Bobby. Do you copy?
Got you loud and clear.
Right on, man. 200th. It was a drag race there to the stripe. Lap car pushing you, a lap car pushing Keith. It was just up to you two. What is going through your mind, given that you're the third car in line, but you're second on the racetrack? How the heck are you trying to strategize getting past him there?
Well, to be honest, I was kind of hoping he'd run out of gas, because I know me and him me and Keith pitted at the same time there, and leader always uses up a little bit more gas, and I know I was almost on the edge of making it, so I was kind of banking on he would run out of gas, but he didn't, and trying to. I didn't want to go too early because I didn't want to give him a chance to get back at me. So I, waited till the last lap there and just didn't have enough momentum to pull it off.
And you still did everything right there in making that work. But I guess I'll ask you from the fuel strategy standpoint. I know you're saying that you were pretty iffy. Obviously, he was really iffy. Heck, he was running out there on the cooldown lap. How close was it for you?
I was actually sounded like I was a little tighter than he was because I think I ran out of gas before I heard him mention he was out. I know it kept flapping back and forth on my monitor there, saying it was like I need a half can, need a splash, need none, need splash. I'm like, I don't know what's going on right now. I was just trying to save all I could and hope for the best, which I was able to had enough to get across the line, which is most important part.
Yeah, yeah, by just that much. He was able to beat you there, but still, man, with the win last week, the second place here in race number 2 tonight. All in all, though, it seems like you're on the up and up so far. How are you feeling on that front?
So far so good. Kind of hate that I mentioned this last week. Kind of hate that we're getting these short fields now all of a sudden, but it's at the same time it's helped me out because I'm being able to pull off better finishes. Not having cautions is helping out a little bit. I think usually I'm a little rough on pit road, but I've been having to get some good practice stops in apparently with all these green flag stops we've been running. So it's been so far so good. It's been working out for me.
No better place to practice it than in combat. So nicely done, man. Glad that we could get to talk to you again. So just before we let you get some rest tonight. Closing thoughts, shout outs, whatever you want to, my friend. The floor is all yours.
Yeah, I need as much rest as I can get. I gotta get up 5 a.m. So it's
Oh,
fly out of Talladega, get home, and right to bed.
wow.
But I want to thank all the guys that show up to race tonight. It's definitely a good bunch of guys, and enjoy racing with them. Enjoy Graham for putting on this league. You yourself for broadcasting it. Always good to get some TV time in there.
Hey, always glad to provide. Great finish, my man, and best of luck next week.
Thank you. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, then, my man.
User was moved out of your channel.
Bobby Farrell, but the runner-up, however, to this guy,
User was moved to
who
your
we
channel.
are getting to talk to yet again, but this time from Victory Lane. Keith Bynum, do you copy?
Man, I don't even know. I feel like Ricky Bobby. I want to hold my hands up like I don't even know what to say. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what to do while I'm getting interviewed. I don't never get this done.
Well, I guess I'll ask. I'll start by asking you this: that fuel situation seemed awfully tight. Ran out there on the cooldown lap.
I did. I run out on the cool down lap. I worried about it. I was showing every time I would cross the start finish line, I would show splash. Then the time I would get around to the turn 3, it would show half can. Maybe before turn 3, half can. So I started working on just hitting my clutch a little, I mean, real fast. I mean, just on and off of it, letting off the gas a little when I could in front. And it was so hard saving gas out front. But where I was lucky, I did not know that Randy Wall was a lap down, but he was pushing me and he was staying right with me. And he didn't seem to, he never said nothing to me about what I was doing to save gas. So I just kept doing it. And by the time I got to the last lap, I was projecting 3 laps. 3 laps and 4 laps to go. I mean, when it went like that to the last one, and I just kept doing what I was doing, and somehow or another, it did not give out none until after I crossed the start finish line.
Yeah, it was just that close. You said that with Randy behind you, he was content to stay behind you there for a while with him being a lap down, but let you save fuel. Even though you were leading that line, were you letting off?
Yeah, I was letting off a little, not much. Just anywhere, anytime I saw Randy drop back 0.2 on me, when I'd see him go back 0.2, I'd let off enough for him to come back 0.1 on me. I just used that as it was the only way I was able to save gas. And like I say, it worked. And then one time, I did not know Randy was a lap down until after the race. I really thought he was second place, and that just didn't really seem that didn't seem Randy to be following me and him a chance to win the race. And but then when he started to go out there, I just went ahead like I was gonna throw a block, and I didn't have to because he didn't go. He could have made them. He didn't have no need to make a move though because he was a lap down. I just didn't know. But anyhow, it was fun. I had a blast. Everybody raced clean. I don't think we had a yellow flag tonight.
Nope.
And I mean, we just it's less drivers sometimes, but man, the less drivers is I enjoy the clean racing, green flag racing. The field got spreaded out a little bit.
Definitely, the smaller field does have its perks for sure.
Yeah, it did, and I appreciate you hosting, and that's been a nice thing having our Saturday nights. Like I say, I got my mama. I send her these links to the racing every weekend, and I don't know if she's watching now, but she is. Hey, mother, I love you. Hope you enjoy the race. I dedicate this race to you if you are watching and listening. And anyway, I thank you again, buddy. And I'm going to check out of here. And like I say, appreciate it. You got any more questions?
Nothing that comes to my mind. I guess the only other thing being, once you knew you were racing Bobby Farrell, it got a little close there. Sure, the heart was probably pounding there at the start finish line,
No,
being like, "Is
my
he gonna get
heart
me?"
did not. No, my heart did not pound one little bit, and I didn't even pay attention to that Bobby. I just stayed in the gas and looked ahead. And it was enough.
That's the right way to do it, my man. Nicely done, though. If you got any other closing thoughts that you want to give before you hop out of here, I'll let you have the floor.
Yeah, yeah. If there's anybody out there that races and ain't doing nothing, come on out and check us out at Primetime Racing League. And that's all I got to say. Thank you a lot, buddy.
Hey, thank you, my man. Well, yeah, you go get some rest.
Good night.
Great win, man.
Thanks.
User was moved out of your channel.
Keith Bynum with a double podium tonight, a third and a first. Brilliant job there out of that 63. And yeah, Primetime Racing League. These guys got something going on. Quite a few nights out of the week. I believe pretty much all nights of the week, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it looks like it. So, looks like the exception being Thursday. So, yeah, give Graham McDonald or Keith a message, Randy Y even, if interested. Facebook's the place. Definitely, you can find Primetime Racing League on Facebook, and you can find out how to get in touch with the admins there if you're interested in joining in. But for now, though, I'm going to pack it up myself. Thank you to anyone who came by tonight. We will see everybody tomorrow at Fast as we determine the final three officially, and then Homestead for Hobo on Tuesday night, usual time for both of those, 9 o'clock start tomorrow, 8:45 give or take, on Tuesday. Until then, though, congrats to our two winners tonight, Keith Bynum and Doug Hewlick. And until tomorrow, a good evening to all.